Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and a really pleasant looking puzzle today. We'll have a look at that in a moment. Now, I have not mentioned on my videos that Quinlux's incredible build your own Sudoku hunt is up on Patreon. It's been there a couple of days now. Remarkably, we have had some correct entries. I didn't think a couple of days would be enough for very many people, but we have had well, I mean, it will still be less than 50, but we've had quite a few entries, and that's very impressive. Those are some tough puzzles, much harder than the monthly reward content we've been putting out. And indeed, we are going to put out something at the beginning of May that is closer to genuinely approachable than anything we've had before. But for those of you who are keen on some really, I mean, I highly recommend Quinlux's puzzles. They are brilliant. Quinlux is a flipping genius, frankly, and still remember solving their first puzzle on the channel, and that was good. But the levels they've gone to now really need to be seen to be believed. I do recommend it. So that's on Patreon, along with all the other content in the month. We've put up 4 or 5 different things, and my monthly crossword video is still to go up this month. It has been recorded, I'm pleased to say, sort of. And loads going on there as usual, but also loads going on Discord. You can try our apps. Updates are happening to so many of them now, and we will soon be in a point where all the current apps are updated, and then because we don't want to have far too many apps going, we will create an app onto which we can upload new types of content and keep it as just the one app. That's the plan. So that is all going on as well. So loads you can check out on the links under the video, as well as Sven's Sudoku Pad. But this puzzle, Spell Daddy, we have done a puzzle by Spell Daddy before on the channel, but not by Rock Rat Zero. And I think Spell Daddy says that they're responsible for the break-in and Rock Rat Zero for the rest. And I don't know. That always worries me, because what if I don't get the intended break-in? Have I ruined one person's participation in the puzzle? I don't know. Well, I mean, all I can do is solve it the best I can. Can't offer to do anything more than that. Now, the rules are these. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits along an arrow sum to the number in the circle. So those two will add up to that, for instance. Digits directly joined on a green line. So that means 2 digits that are next to each other on the green line. So those two or those two must have a difference of at least 5. This is the German Whispers rule. Oh, and I should mention that we were sent the thumbnail for this, or an idea for it. It's a very nice bit of artwork, looking a lot like the grid, with the arrows translated into snowflakes and the green whisper line being the grass. That's why it's winter or spring. Winter in the air, spring on the ground. It's definitely spring here in the Northern Hemisphere, and all the better for it. But so we've gone through the rules. We have mentioned what's available. There is nothing else left to say except let's get cracking. And we shall start. Where shall we start? Right, German Whispers is fascinating, and it really helps to have done German Whispers before. And one of the things that you learn about a German Whispers line, and that turns out to be really valuable, is that 5 can never be on a German Whispers line. Now, the knowledge bomb I'm going to hit you with today is that there is a 5 in every row of a Sudoku. It's kind of a rule. So where is the 5 in this bottom row? Well, it's not in any of the cells with green in, so it must be there. And that's great, because now in this row, where there were only 2 cells where 5 could be, one of them's got ruled out. So we can put a 5 in the other. And we've at least got a start. Now, the next most important digits on German Whisper lines are 4s and 6s. Yes, and there are some places on this line that cannot be a 4 or 6. Now, those places are always... Okay, the thing with a 4 or a 6 is if it appears on a whisper line, imagine there was a 4 here. That's fine, it can be there, but it always needs to be touching 9. That's the only Sudoku digit that is 5 away or more. So there are places 4s can appear, but there are places they can't. So for instance, this couldn't be a 4 because both of those would have to be a 9, and they're in the same row and box. So I'm going to mark off the cells that cannot be 4s or 6s. All of these can't be 4s or 6s. And that one. And it leaves only very few cells that can be. Yes, okay, well, okay, that was silly marking, never mind. It leaves these 3 cells in the bottom row that can be. Now, I'm going to unmark those. What I'm now going to do is mark alternate cells of this green line. And that's because this is another thing one learns about German whisper lines, is you can never have 5 on the line because it's 2 in the middle. You always have to have a lower number or a higher number. And along the line, those must alternate. First you get a lower, then with a difference of 5 you go to a higher. So I'm going to mark all the alternating numbers, every other cell along the line is what I'm trying to say, in one colour. I think it's those. Let's call them purple. Let's call all the other cells not yellow. I don't want to use blue or orange, so I'll call them green. And now either all the purples are low and all the greens are high, or vice versa. But that is really important because this is one of the candidates for 4 or 6, and this is one of the candidates for, oh hang on, I didn't mark this colour. This is green, isn't it? There we go, sorry. Yeah, but these two are purple, and they can't therefore be 4 and 6 because they're both either high or low. So they can't be one higher than 5 and one lower than 5. So only one of those is 4 or 6, and this one is the other 4 or 6 in the row. None of the others are allowed to be 4 or 6. And that is not going to be next to a 4 or 6 because they're only 2 apart. So there are 2 of the 4 or 6s, and that one is not. And now I can get rid of the yellow marking. Right, the numbers that touch 4 or 6 are always 1 or 9, as I explained. They're the extreme numbers. So we have the 1-9 pair in row 8 now. Now, where can 4 or 6 be in row 8? Not there, not there. One of those 2 only. Oh, actually, any of these 4 could be 4 or 6, although it can't be both of those. No, hang on, neither of these can be. I've just worked that out. If this was a 4 or 6, then this would be a 1 or a 9, but it sees both 1 or 9s. And the same is true for this cell. That would be 1 or 9, but it can't be. So neither of those are. So this is where 4, 6 are in row 8. This is now a 1 or 9, and we've got all the 1s and 9s marked for rows 9 and 8. I still don't know which is high and which is low. I don't know what that is either. I do know it's not 8, of course. And it's not 1, 9, 5, 4 or 6. So that is actually 2, 3 or 7. That must be right. No, something's gone hideously wrong. Something's gone wrong with my colouring because I've got green to green there along the line. Okay, let's go back and start again. Well, not start again. Oh, it's when I did the colouring. It was rubbish, wasn't it? Okay, it's when I put the purples in. I missed a hole. Right, my apologies. Let's try again with purple in those 3 cells and in those 3 and there and there. Those are purple. The other ones on the line are green. Right, let's try and do this the 4, 6 logic again. Right, both purples can't be 4 and 6, so that must be 4 or 6. And now that one can't be, so that one is. It seems to be the same logic. It's just using different cells. Okay, that was really irritating. Sorry to be such a doofus on that occasion. Right, this still works. We've got the 1, 9 pair here. Where are 4 and 6 going to go in this row? Those are the 4 cells. But if it was there, that would be 1 or 9. If it was here, that would be 1 or 9. So in fact, again, we get 4, 6 there. And one of them is connected to a 1, 9. So now the 1, 9 pair in the bottom row is there. Okay, well, it's the same sort of thing. Ah, but this has changed what 8 does. 8's not there, so it's in one of those two cells. And therefore in one of these two. Hasn't told me whether it's high or low. Oh, but 7 must be in this pair now, because it needs a high digit. In one of those two, there must be a high digit that's not 9, 8, or 6, which can't go in either cell. Yeah, so 7 is in there with 2, because 7 can only go next to 1 or 2, and 1s are used up in the box. Oh, that's so strange. So these digits are from 8, 3, 4, and 6. Whatever that is a member of that quadruple. So 8 and 3 are definitely up here. So now this group pair is 8 and 3 by Sudoku. If they're in that group, they can't be there. Now one of 4 and 6 is there. The other one is here. Ah, these can't be 4, 6. None of them, this 2 by 2 area, none of it can be 4, 6. None of it can be 1, 9. None of it can be 5. So it's a 2, 3, 7, 8 quad. This can't be 7 because it would be too close to 3 or 8. I don't know that I can extend that logic at all. Okay, forget that. 3, 8, 4, 6, 2, 3, 7. Oh, okay, maybe it doesn't really help much. Oh, these can't be 2 because we've got a given 2. Ah, so that's now a 3, 8 pair. That's surprising. So that's 2 or 7 there. What about this? This can't be 7 either because it would be too close to either 3 or 8. So that's a 3, 8 pair, and that's not 3 or 8. So now we've got these all divided up into weird pairs. And I still don't know which is high and which is low out of any of them. Oh, so strange, this puzzle. Right, I'm going to have to look at this, not sun, a snowflake. Right, this number, oh look, it forms a triple. These are all the same because of the 1 cell arrows. And they can't be 1, 8, or 5 now. Oh, well, of course, this one has to have 3 sets of digits that can make it up, 3 pairs. So it can't be lower than 7. It is 7 or 9. It can't be an 8 because of that. So they're all 7 or 9. Now, if this was a 7, you'd use 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6 on the arrows, and that would be a 9. If it's a 9, then that's a 1, because 8, 1 is the only combo that makes up 9 that won't go on an arrow because of that 8. So that is 1 or 9, forming a pair in the first column. I don't think it's a helpful pair, but it is a pair. And that's either 777 or 999. How do I know which? Is there a way? Well, okay, if it's a 7, then these, which can't include 2, 5 because of the 5, are 1, 6, and 4, 3. This is if it's a 7. They're 1, 6, and 4, 3. Then you go 8, 5, 9, 2 at the top, weirdly. If that's a 9, then this is a 1. Then these can't be 1, 8, and 5, 4. They are 2, 7, and 3, 6. 5, 1. And that's 4 and 8, 4 or 8, and so's that. Oh, that's not all that helpful. I thought that was going to do something. This is the same sort of 7, 8, or 9 circle for the same reasons. But that gives a variety of possible fill-ins there. Okay, come on, think about this more. Or maybe this 1-9 pair, is that really doing anything? I don't know. Oh, come on, I want to know which is high and low down here. How do I learn that? Oh, maybe in this column again. If that's a 7, no, then 1's on an arrow and that's a 9 and high. But if that's 9, that's a 1 and low. So that makes all the difference. Oh, look at this. That's nice. This might be the break-in Spell Daddy was talking about. Those are the same. Where does that digit go in column 1? Well, it goes in one of these 3. Oh, look. No, the simple thing is I've got a 2-7 pair pointing at that cell. So it's not a 7. That's the simple thing. Gosh, couldn't spot that at all. Right, so they're 9s. That's a 1. Now, we worked out these aren't 5, 4. Oh, that's a 1 now. So that's given us the height and lowness. So all the purples are low, and I'm going to make them blue because I know that a bit better as a low colour, and I'm going to make the greens oranges. In fact, we can fill these all in. Blues are low, so here we go. 2, 7 can do the whole of the bottom 2 rows, I think now. 6, 1, 7, 2, 8, 3, 8, 3, 9, 4 and a 6 there. There we go. They're all done. That's brilliant. Right. We're well away now. Right. Now I was going to say that these can't be 1, 8 and 5, 4. So they're a 2, 3, 6, 7 quad. That's an 8 and we get a 4 at the top of the grid. Okay, that's now not an 8. It's 3 or 6. 4 is in one of those 2 cells. So 5 must be on the tip of its arrow, and that means 5 is in one of these 2 cells. Oh, and 1 is as well. Look at that. That's a 5, 1 pair. 5, 1, 9, 8, 7, 2. So these are from 3, 4, or 6. Their arrow tips are from 3, 6, or 5. That's a triple. So this is 2, 8, 7, and now that's a very odd way. I suspect I didn't need that way of finding out that this is a 3, 6 pair, but there we go. This is a 2, 7. Oh yes, look, I had a 3, 4, 5, 6 quad. So that became 2, 7. That's how I should have figured that one out. This is a 4, 5, 9 triple. Let's just do the Sudoku down here. This is a 1, 2, 7 triple. That, don't know, it's not 1, 8. Ah, it's not 2, 7. Because neither of those can be in that cell. So it's part of a 3, 4, 5, 6 quad with those cells. So that is a naked 7. Weirdly. And that's a 1, 2, 8 triple. That's not a 7. Because that can't be a 2. So we're left with a 7 up there somewhere. 2, 2. Oh yes, we can place 2 in the central box. 8 in the central box. Thanks to that, can't be there, so it must go there. Now 3 in the central box has to be in this pair, and it must go here. And we are well away now. Now I can do the 4, 5 pair there. Let's get rid of the 4 pencil markings there and the 5 ones there. This is a 5, 4 pair that is not resolved, but does resolve row 8, row 7, column 6 there. That's a 1, 6 pair to complete the column. This is a very clever puzzle, isn't it? Really, really tidy. Just well executed. That's not a 9, and that's not a 9 on the arrow, so we know where 9 goes in the column. This is 3, 4, 5 as possibilities, so this is 6, 5, 4, but it can't be 6 because it's down there. I'm not a stormtrooper today, hurrah. In fact, let me just take out the yellow flashes from there. In fact, I might as well take out all the colours because I think I'm done with colouring, so we'll do that. There we go. Right, that 4, 5 pair means that's a 3. Then we've got a 7, 8 pair up here. This can't be a 9 anymore, interestingly. Now I've got a 7/8 pair in the top row, so that's a 2. Now I've got a 7/8 pair in row 2, which doesn't really help. Now, if that's an 8, these two are 9. Yes, where does 9 go in the box? Not on an arrow. 9 goes there. If that's an 8, we've got a 4 that can't go on an arrow. If that's a 7, we've got an 8 that can't go on the arrow. And that's not forming a double or a triple. We need 2 on one of those two. Not sure how helpful that is. Not much. Now, what about this? If that was an 8. No, maybe if it was a 7. Yes, it can't be a 7 because it can't use 2 or 4, and this can't be a 1/6 pair because of that. So it is an 8 in the corner. 4 there. That becomes 7. The 7/8 pairs get disambiguated. Now this can't be 7/1 or 2/6, so it's 3/5. The question I should have asked all the time was where does 3 go in the top row, and then it would have got a lot easier. So that's fixing the 1/5, that's fixing the 1/6. I imagine this 4/5 has been fixed, and this 6/3, and we are now pretty much finishing off actually. I think that's used all the clues from the arrows, apart from that one. That's become a 1, that's become a 7. We need 9 and 3 in the final column. Let's just go column by column. I think we can do that now. That's a naked 5, that becomes a naked 7, then we can do 2 and 8. That's a 2, that's a 1. We've got 4 and 6. That stops me going column by column. But now I can do that 4/5 pair, that 4/6 pair, nip across to 3/6, and then finish with row 7. And that determines that it is spring. It's a lovely puzzle. Really, really neatly done. Yeah, I like that a lot. Not just for the image, but for the flow of the solution. I hope you had a go at that and enjoyed it. It's a really classic combination of arrow and German whisper. Lovely puzzle. Thanks as always for watching us on the channel. We really appreciate it. The comments are so often lovely, and I feel very undeserving of that, but thank you as always. Hope to see you soon. Bye for now.